What is Inspired IT and what do you specialize in?
So my business is Inspired IT. I started in 2016 with just myself. And one of the reasons why I started it was purely because 365 was coming about. And I thought now was a good chance or a good opportunity to start my business. So focusing on managed services 365 and sort of going back to good old service and the quality of service. So yeah, what we've grown over the last few years is just our managed services 365 and projects and selling a lot of hardware as well.
3 years ago, you chose Simplesat because you needed a feedback platform that would maintain your service level at a high standards. Looking back, do you think it has greatly helped you today?
I'll go back to the beginning. So when I was looking at how to understand feedback from our clients and our end users, I looked at a few tools, and Simplesat was top of the ones because of the integration and the simple interface that it presented. So, and then it integrated nicely into Bright Gauge and Autotask, and obviously now Teams as well. So Simplesat sort of gave us the ability to understand what our end user was thinking. It enabled us to also feed those feedback and reviews directly straight into Google, which we were trying to grow at the time as well.
Were there any other concerns that were not addressed the first time? How did Simplesat help you solve specific problems?
No, I mean, Simplesat sort of done exactly what it says on the tin, really. And like I say, it's provided that feedback to us, and we've been able to manage and monitor that. And our feedback goes back 4 years, so we're able to understand where we are in that cycle of sort of service, quality of service aligned to our staff. We've been able to track that all along the way, and it's a great resource to be able to utilize and refer back to. And like I say, we use it as a KPI for all our team members, and it's a critical part to our business. And ultimately, we've grown because we've provided good service, and ultimately MSPs are a service-based business, so it's one of the things that you've got to really monitor and track.
How did the tool make your life easier?
When we first integrated Simplesat into the business, we were initially using Autotask and Bright Gauge. About sort of a year after we deployed Simplesat into the business, you had the integration using webhooks into Teams, and our business runs off Teams. So it was great. I mean, as soon as that was available, we integrated that into the business. And like I say, we've got a response process that we go back for a negative or neutral, and Teams is a massive central part of that. So as soon as that integration was there, it was really valuable. And like I say, we utilize that as part of our internal process via Teams and the feed we get from you guys. Actually, CloudRadial has been helpful for us as well. So we're utilizing that now. So, and like I say, that's been another product into our stack through CloudRadial, and that's working well. And that's actually given us the ability, or given our end users the ability, to provide feedback more regularly as well, which has been great.
Is there any specific feature of Simplesat that is important or highly used for your team?
I mean, there's not really a sort of feature that we use as, I suppose, as a key importance, but I mean, just understanding the feedback. And when I say we try and keep it simple with the positive, neutral, and negative, and then it's great for the end user to then be able to provide a Google review as well, because ultimately that helps us from an SEO perspective and building on that Google My Business. So like I say, those are the features we use. Then we regularly track through EOS, and because we've implemented EOS into the business, so we regularly track where our CSAT score is across our internal teams, because we've got a few different teams internally. So we track those CSAT scores and a general average of the general CSAT, and then also at the end team member as well we track. So we monitor it all across all aspects.
Overall, how do you think Simplesat delivered its services?
I've loved using the product, and like I say, it's been provided. It's allowed us to have great feedback of exactly how our team are performing. And it's also, I think it's nice that the end user can have that sort of area to provide that feedback. I mean, it's nice to have the positive feedback. Sort of, a lot of people concentrate on the negative feedback, but for me, it's always nice to know and sort of reinforce what we're doing right. And then it's like my team feed off that as well. So I'll say it's nice to hear the feedback, and like I say, for the end user to give negative feedback, it's great because we can learn from that. But then also it's nice to know, and it enforces what we're doing well from the positive feedback as well. So that's always nice to know. Like I say, and we've just introduced from our team as well. So whoever gets positive feedback goes into like a monthly kitty, and then they get like a little voucher every month from that as well. So we do like a draw, and then that sort of gets given out to the service team.
Is there anything you wish that Simplesat could do for you or offer?
I think it's covering all the bases at the moment. No, I mean, the integration probably needs to get a little bit better into Teams, because we've had a couple of issues with the negatives and stuff like that, but I understand that's coming down the line. But no, ultimately, I'd say it's been reliable, it's worked, and it's got what we needed from the product.
What are your thoughts on the pricing of Simplesat?
Yeah, I mean, the pricing has never bothered me. I mean, again, sort of when I looked around 4 years ago, it was, like I say, I felt it was needed in the business. So, like I say, for me, it provides the value in the feedback, and I know exactly what's going on for our support and our end users. So I haven't really looked at too much at the price, to be honest. But I say I value it within our business, and I classify it as one of our main stack products that we use within the business. So, like I say, I haven't have the need to review or to look elsewhere, because I say it's just doing exactly what it needs to do for us.
Do you recommend using Simplesat?
I think as an MSP, you need to know exactly what you're providing, and if you're providing a good service or closing a ticket incorrectly or correctly. And like I say, I think it's a no-brainer for any managed service business or any service businesses to ask for feedback. Like I say, I value. It's nice to get the negative, but for me, it's great to have the positive, and just reinforces the positive stuff. And